Okay guys, let's take a look and over under for a different setup, okay? Let's imagine that the guy's in front of you and he likes to play butterfly guard. So of course, first of all, he needs to engage in order to put the hooks and do the butterfly sweeps and all that. So that's the time that I'm gonna try to set up my over under. As he comes in, he needs to move. See, his foot between my legs, and he's gonna raise up a little bit the knee. Doesn't matter the size you wanna go, I'm gonna get this space for me. So that's the time that I'm gonna go under to block his shin. So I'm gonna go and drive my weight forward. It's very important that every time that you feel that the guy is coming to do the butterfly, you have to lower your level. Your head must be under his shin line. If you're here and the guy able to engage, then you are in trouble. Alright? So make sure that you keep yourself very low, and then you go even lower to get the over under. As you get the position, you control the belt and again adjust the shoulder really tight on his ankle. Time for you to start passing. Walk back, step over, slide, and get the pass. So it's very important every time that your opponent is playing the butterfly guard, then make sure that your head is under his shin. If you stay high, it's much easier for him to engage, and then you'll be in trouble. So make sure that you lower your level, and then you get your biceps right in front of his shin in order to grab the belt. So you're gonna slide your hand like this. As you grab the belt, you just put his back on the mat and start passing. As you start passing, remember that the knee is gonna point outside, no problem. Just step a little bit more to the left, the side, and then go back, right? As you get here, you step over, you slide your chest to chest, and finally get the control. So you are here on the butterfly, your opponent wants to engage, and it's very important for you to keep your level very low in order to don't let him engage. Come with the hand in front of the shin and grab the belt, drive your weight forward. As he put his lower back on the mat, it's time for you to start putting the pressure on him. So raise up your hip. When the knee is out, it's still on your hip, so pointing outside. You just need to step a little step to the left and then back. So just trap his leg, step over, slide the chest to chest, and get the pass.
So I have two questions.
Uh-huh.
Number one, when you drop your head, I can see the back of your head.
Uh-huh.
Are you not worried about me getting some kind of guillotine or head and arm choke or some kind of control like that?
Yeah, the thing is, as I'm going forward, my head goes to the side, the opposite side that I'm passing. So I'm not really worried about the guillotine.
Right.
Because the dangers, maybe you have a chance, if I still here, really low, then you can get the guillotine right away, yes. Then I need to be worried about it. But when I go, I'm here, right? So if you, when you try to set up the guillotine, I'm already, he's okay for me.
Right.
See? Because that's not a problem anymore.
If I'm guillotining on my left and you're on my right, I don't have a guillotine.
Exactly. That's the point.
Okay.
So of course you don't want to be like this in the beginning.
Sure.
Because then you're in danger. So when you engage, when you hear your shoulders is always like protecting your neck. Because if you try now, that's also in the time that you become more vulnerable, right? Because you don't have the hands to put on the ground. So if I drive my weight forward, you're gonna land.
Okay.
So if I know that my neck's kind of protected, I can shoot, you know.
Okay.
But
You don't hang out there.
yeah, you need to pay attention. It's a good question, but if you go with your head to the opposite side, it's fine. And if you protect your neck before you get the full control of the shin, it's also good.
So then my next question is much later in the pass. What if you've got some strong guy, does a ton of bench press, and he's making frames and he's stopping you from, trying to stop you from
That is a
passing?
very good question. That's something that's gonna happen very often because, of course, after they kill your legs,
What's left?
well, left, right? So you're gonna use your arms for sure, you know. So you're gonna try to strap the arms. So that's the thing. There's a very important thing to understand. Every time you face some good leverage, you cannot fight against that leverage. You need to change the angle to make that leverage weak, and then you can keep doing what you're doing. But if you just get stuck and try to force, probably you're gonna start losing all the tight positions you had, and then your pass is gone, right? So let's say I get this really tight, I'm doing all the things right, but then when I stop passing, you just frame my shoulder, just stretch your arm like this, accident. So see, that position is not good for me, but I still can hold for a while. And what I want now is, I just want to lift your hip. So I'm gonna put more pressure on you, just to make sure your hip's gonna be out of the floor. So I'm gonna go with my hand to the other side, see?
That completely kills it.
See, what happened was, you were here, you were really strong because you have this line of your hips and arms and everything. When I switch your hip this way,
Yeah.
it's already done.
Yeah, nobody bench presses like this.
No, impossible, right? So you just need to, you're gonna put more pressure in order to make the guy raise up the hip. Then you go all the way to the other side and just bring the hip to the other direction.
Can we just show that on this side,
Yeah,
please?
of course.
So we're here.
So it's very important to get this really tight. So here, I start to pass. So let's say you frame. So I'm going. See my hand, how it goes to the other side? As your hips in the air, it's easy for me to go this way. So then I can just step out, or I can just come back to the full pass if I want. And you connect one with the other.
It's fantastic. Just totally destroys that defense.
Yeah, because again, you are just, what's important to understand, because sometimes you use one technique and okay, it's fine, but it never happened with me. But when you understand the concept, you can apply this concept for different situations, right? So every time you face someone pushing you and you cannot really fight against that because there's a good leverage, you just need to change the angle, right? Sometimes it's you walking, sometimes you moving the opponent's hip. But you gotta change the angle because otherwise you're gonna spend much more energy than your opponent. And that's not a good count to do it.
Aikido works.